Joining me now from our West Coast newsroom is Fox News correspondent Bill Melugin. Bill, I know there were some, when the story was first reported by Fox and other outlets, said this was exaggerated. This was portrayed in a way that was inflammatory regarding Tren de Aragua, and this wasn't as big a problem as some were making it out to be. Are people paying attention now, Bill?
They better be, Laura, and you're spot on, because there were Democrats and members of the media alike who are essentially saying, don't believe your lying eyes. This isn't happening. It's not an issue. It's all being blown out of proportion. But here we go again. Another violent incident in the exact same apartment complex. And I'm hearing from federal law enforcement sources, ICE, DEA, HSI, all involved in this operation. Over a dozen suspected Tren de Aragua gang members arrested in this incident. And we have to look at the bigger picture here. Tren de Aragua was never an issue in the United States before President Biden took office. I think most people out there probably never even heard of Tren de Aragua before Biden was president. And now we have to take a step back, because this international prison gang has literally infiltrated the United States, largely due to mass catch and release policies at the border. And they're setting up shop in different cities all across the country, where week after week we're getting these horrible headlines about violent crimes they're committing. And at some point, we got to call a spade here, right? This White House has just blatantly gaslit the American public over the last few years. How many times did we see them get up to that podium every week and claim the border is closed, the border is secure? They even had the nerve to say that mass releases weren't happening, no matter how many times we got it on video. And look, unfortunately, the chickens have come home to roost at this point. Large amounts of foreign violent criminals have gotten into the United States, caught and released at the border because there's little to no vetting going on. And now they're popping up in cities. And American women are paying the price, whether it's Laken Riley, Jocelyn Nungary, Rachel Morin. We keep seeing these horrible headlines. And unfortunately, Laura, given what we've seen the last 4 years, there's probably going to be a significant amount more of it coming. And that's probably why people just voted for mass deportations.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I think you're right. And I think this is going to spread to cities and suburbs across America. People who are wealthy, people of privilege, they think they're somehow immune to this type of criminal activity. They're not. These people are vicious. And Bill, on top of this, we just heard tonight that a South African national on the FBI terror watch list was just arrested in New York. How many more are out there? But what do we know about this?
Yeah, so he was picked up in Brooklyn. So he was initially arrested by Texas DPS back in September. He crossed illegally near Eagle Pass, a little town called Normandy. Texas troopers arrested him when he was sneaking through a private ranch. He was with a group of other special interest aliens, some from Pakistan, some from other countries. So Texas arrested him for criminal trespass. They handed him over to the custody of the federal government. And then at some point, the feds released him, and he made his way to New York. And during that intermission point, they got a little more investigative material and said, oops, he's a match to the FBI's terror watch list. We better go pick him up. And then ICE and other federal agencies were able to find him in Brooklyn, in New York City. He's now back in federal custody. But how many times have we heard this now, Laura? Again, there's an issue with the vetting. They let him go, and then some derogatory info pops up later on down the road, and they have to go find him again.
Bill, we don't have much time, but I want everyone to look at this video out of Tijuana of what otherwise would be illegal aliens using a loophole to come into the United States. They don't even have to cross the border, quote, illegally. Very quickly, Bill, what is going on? It's just a stream of humanity coming into the U.S.
So this is the CBP-1 cell phone app that we always hear about, and very rarely do Americans get to see this happening. This was shot by Ben Berquam, a friend of mine, a border reporter. He went to Mexico and got this from the Mexican side of the border. What you're looking at is the CBP-1 app, which every single day since January 2023 has been allowing 1,500 migrants into the U.S. every single day. This is a Biden-Harris administration program.
Oh my God.
They just get an appointment on the cell phone. They're able to just walk across into the United States. They're released via parole, a 2-year parole grant. And Laura, I just checked the numbers. Since this program started almost 2 years ago, about 900,000 migrants have been allowed into the U.S. via this cell phone app. President-elect Trump has said he's going to get rid of this app as soon as he takes office, and he's going to revoke parole. But look, the people just voted. They clearly don't want this. They voted for mass deportations, not mass migration. So it looks like the public has to put up with it for another few weeks before there's going to be a total 180 in policy.
Unbelievable. Bill, thank you for all your reporting on this, as always.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.